Well, hello there. Welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I've got a bit of a different kind of video for you today. We get to grow through the winter here, and the garden's looking good. It's doing well. I've lost only one plant, and we have backups. The leeks are standing up proud now. Yeah. John at Will It Grow up in Massachusetts, I believe. You check out his channel. I'll put the link below. I like John's channel. It's so different than my area. He can't grow through the winter, outdoors at least, like I can here. But I still love his channel. I like his attitude. He's kind of in your face sometimes. Yeah, I like John. John has come up with a way to still put out some content, even though he's not actively gardening at the moment. He put out a video saying, hey, you know, I'm not doing a lot of gardening, but here's my other hobbies. And he challenged several other gardener channels to share their hobbies as well. Even though I'm still actively gardening, I love hobbies. And I've had a lot of them over the years. My wife used to say that hobbies are my hobby. Look at that. Still got redfish bones in my soil. Garden archaeology. You find what went into the compost. Anyway, yeah, hobbies used to be my hobby, and I've still got some hobbies. I thought I'd share them with you. The thing about the hobbies that I've traditionally tried to pursue is I don't want them to just be merely something that consumes my time. I actually prefer my hobbies to be potentially money-making, and at least potentially something that I can get my money back out of if I need to. For example, collections. You know, a lot of folks collect things that don't really have a lot of value at the end of the day, and that's okay. Whatever brings you joy. But I like, for example, I built scale models for a long time. Scale modeling is a very popular hobby. And if you get good at it, you can actually sell those scale models and make money. You can sell to collectors who don't build the models themselves, but they like to display them. I've sold to collectors. I've sold to museums. So scale modeling is something that I've enjoyed doing for many years. And I'm currently not active in scale modeling. Last time I built something, I think, was 2.5 years ago. And that's how it goes with me. I kind of get on a hobby for a season, and I get into it for a while, and then I move on to another one. That's just my habit. But scale modeling, it's been something that I've really enjoyed since, well, I guess since the mid-90s, and got pretty decent at it. I actually have a YouTube channel with a few videos on it and a blog where I would archive my work. There we go. Got some kale. This stuff ought to grow well in the soil. But yeah, scale modeling. Made some money off of it. I also am a painter. I've been a painter since I was a young teenager. I started out, my mom put me in oil painting classes. My neighbor 2 doors down was a very well-known painter in her time, and she was a teacher at the local art supply store. And so I got into painting then. And I sold paintings at the mall art sale and did commissions as a teenager. I went to college expecting to become a marine biologist because I wanted to follow that pursuit. The idea was that a marine biologist gets to fish for a living. Well, organic chemistry and calculus changed my course of action. And so I thought, well, I'll just put my creative skills on the line and see if I can make a living in the creative world And, well, that worked out. You know, having been a painter and being able to draw a bit. I'd never taken any art classes in school, just my private art classes with my neighbor. But I tell you what, I changed my career choice to graphic communications. A lot of people call that graphic design, and was successful in that field for many years. I'm since retired from that work. But that creative drive, that need to make stuff, stayed with me. And that's why I painted still. I do watercolor paintings. And I have a YouTube channel with some of those paintings on it that I will get back to eventually. Life has caused a pause in my painting, but that pause is, I see it coming to an end. Let me show you some of my paintings. And man, I really enjoy painting. I'm into landscapes mostly. A little quickie study right there. That's Galveston. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff in here that I've done. Let me show you some of my paintings in action from my other channel. And yeah, see if you like them. As far as collections go, I've collected many things over the years. Ancient coins, guns, stamps. Remember, I said my wife used to say that hobbies are my hobby. But these were always off and on kind of things. But because I've been a painter, I've been creative, I've been in the creative profession, I gravitated toward photography. During my time as a graphic designer, I worked with lots of professional photographers and learned a lot about photography. And when I was in college, getting my degree, part of my study was photography and being in the dark room, processing film. That was back in the film days. We didn't have digital cameras back then. And I shot film. I was a photographer for the University of Houston newspaper, and yeah, learned a lot about photography and came to love it. Well, my friend, my best man at my wedding, he actually collected vintage cameras, and that appealed to me and still does. And so I have a very small collection of vintage cameras, but the thing about it is that I use them. If they don't work, I repair them, and you know, they still make film. In fact, there's a wild variety of film out there for people like me who collect and shoot analog, the old school style. So I shoot film, black and white and color, through these vintage cameras and do a little photography. I develop both black and white and color film myself here at home. And yeah, it's kind of fun. Currently, I haven't developed film for several months, but yeah, film photography, it gives you a different look. I shoot a lot of expired film, which gives you intentional haziness and graininess. Some of the cameras that I shoot are actually toy cameras, and they give you these very otherworldly, hazy, sort of out of focus on the edges kind of cameras, or kind of photos. And yeah, you can't get that effect from a digital camera. If you do, that camera is broken. Let me show you some of my photos. Check out my camera bag. This is the active, I'm using these cameras bag. There's my film, there's some color film. This is my old Canon AE1 program, 35mm SLR. A workhorse. My dad bought that in 1982, and that is the camera I used in college, and I've shot many thousands of rolls of film through this, and it still works. Yeah, I love that one. My favorite cameras, though, are these, what they're called medium format cameras. Twin lens reflex, shoots 120 film, roll film like that right there. And these old Yashicas, man, they take great photos. I love this camera. And it works. So, as you can see, I've got some other cameras here. These are old Soviet Leica copies. This is a universal. This is a pretty cool camera. It works. And it has a rotary shutter. Anyway, these are some of the cameras I shoot and some of the cameras that I've collected over the years. I've got some 3D cameras like this old Soviet 3D camera. They take 2 frames in 3D. Yeah, neat stuff. Well, there we have it, some other hobby stuff. I don't know if you're interested in that, but I was interested to see what John was interested in outside of gardening. So thank you, John, for giving me the idea and doing your video. I'll link to John's video down below. Y'all go check out John at Will It Grow. I like what he does out there, or up there in New England area. And yeah, interesting video. If you'd like to do this, feel free. I'd like to know what you do outside of gardening. It's always fascinating to see what people's interests are and get to know fellow gardeners on YouTube in a little bit different way. Hey, thanks for joining me today on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. If you'd like to learn how to garden in Zone 9A on the Texas coast in a backyard context like this, please join me and, well, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell. Hey, happy gardening to you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.